My name is Ron Gilbert, and I am the creator and project leader of The Cave, and you're watching Eurogamer.
I have a really interesting story to tell you this evening, so pay attention.
Hey guys, Ian from Eurogamer here, and I recently had the pleasure of meeting games industry ledge and creator of Monkey Island, Ron Gilbert. Ron was in town to show off his new creation, The Cave, so I grabbed him for a quick interview in a cave and asked him exactly what it was all about.
Welcome to The Cave. Yes, I'm a talking cave.
The Cave is an adventure game about these 7 characters where you get to pick any 3 of them, and you just descend into this dark, sentient, talking cave.
I managed to get hands-on with the game, and what it boils down to essentially is an action-adventure puzzle game, full of quirky Monkey Island-style humour and head-scratching problems to solve. The game can be played solo, switching between 3 different characters, each with their own unique skills, or in co-op, which seems to make the game and the puzzling infinitely more fun. I was really drawn in by the look of the game too. The character designs seemed like they were lifted straight out of an animated Tim Burton movie. Ron, how long was the game in production for?
It's been in the works for about 2 years. The idea, is a good 25 years old, and just something that's kind of popped into my head every so often. Over the years, the original idea was these 3 characters that go into this sentient talking cave, but they were these Indiana Jones-ish explorers, and it wasn't until we started working on the game a couple of years ago that I really kind of solidified out that it's the 7 characters, and I've always wanted to revisit that from Maniac Mansion, having the 7 characters you choose any 3 from. So that stuff is very new, and it's been about 2 years.
As I mentioned before, the 7 characters each have a unique skill, such as the redneck who can breathe underwater. Why did you choose to have 7 characters? Was it really just as a homage to Manic Mansion, or did you mainly include them to increase the replay factor?
Yeah, that was a big part of it. Some of that occurs in Maniac Mansion, but we hadn't done a lot to make the characters very equal or as compelling. I mean, who wants to play Maniac Mansion again to play Jeff, right? It's not a big thing. But when we set out to really design this, we wanted to make all the characters, they all have their own special stories. They all have some ability or skill that's very different from everyone else's. And it was to get that replay. If people just want to play it once, that's fine. But if they really want to explore every nook and cranny of the cave, they do need to play it again. But the changes are quite significant. So it's not like you're going to play it with another 3 and 95% of the game is the same, and there's this one little puzzle. You're going to get into completely different areas of the cave and have entire groups of puzzles that are different.
Although I only played the carnival part of the cave, there are many other themed areas which were only accessible later on, including an entrance to a medieval night-style area which was blocked by flames. How big are all these areas?
Well, once you get into the Knights area, there's this entire medieval castle with catacombs, the King's area, a dragon. They're quite big, so it's not just you come to one little drawbridge and do a puzzle. There are entire areas, and the carnival that you would have played through is one of those areas. The scientist you're also playing with, there's this giant underground missile silo that you come across, and there's all these puzzles you have to solve to figure out how to launch the missile. And so there's just a lot of new stuff when you play it a second time.
So how difficult was it to tune the difficulty of the cave so that you could make it accessible for everyone but still keep it challenging for fans of the adventure game genre?
It's very difficult to tune adventure games just because people solve puzzles very differently, and it's not that some people are dumb and some people are smart. It's just that sometimes a light goes off in your head. Sometimes something just makes sense and you just solve the puzzle really quickly. So, it's about just having a good variety of puzzles. So maybe this set of puzzles is hard for you, but they're easier for me, but this other set is easy for you and they're hard for me. So it's just, it's just a lot of play testing, a lot of figuring out, where that stuff is. the very beginning of the game is a little bit easier because we do want to ease people into it, so the puzzles are a little more obvious what you need to do. We're teaching people a little bit about how to use one object with another object, things like that. But once you go through that beginning area, it's probably a little bit of a roller coaster ride in terms of difficulty. You're going to come to some areas that seem a little easy and others which are just mind-numbingly hard.
With work now wrapping up on the cave, what are your plans for the future? Do you have any new projects in the works?
I don't tend to think about my next game until my last one is done and I've actually had a little bit of a vacation, because it's very intense finishing a game, and I just like to be able to kind of step back and let my mind drift a little bit before I think about what I'm doing next.
Thanks, Ron. It was a genuine pleasure to meet you, and I can't wait to play the final version of the game, although it will probably prove just how dumb I actually am. Don't forget to subscribe to Eurogamer. We've got many more exclusive interviews coming soon, along with early gameplays of all of 2013's top games and so much more. Bye!